How's it going, everyone? The DF Wrestling Podcast here with you. So, we're going to be talking about the Survivor Series here today. And ever since WWE renewed their long brand split back in 2016, it's become this tradition for Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown to go head to head for the sakes of who is the best brand. And with the new Survivor Series concept, you had champion versus champion matches between every champion of each brand. For example, last year, Brock Lesnar going up against Daniel Bryan, Ronda Rousey going up against Charlotte Flair. And with also the Survivor Series, you've had those traditional Survivor Series rules matches for the men and for the women. Now, this year, WWE has plans to shake things up a bit, and this is a new twist on an old routine. So, if you saw Crown Jewel yesterday, I did not, because of me boycotting the WWE pay per views when they're in Saudi Arabia. They aired a video package and they revealed that NXT is set to take over WWE's premier Big Four pay per view, and for the first time ever, it's going to have its presence known. And it's very rare for NXT to ever play a big part in a main roster pay per view, but I've always told people this, and even I said this in my old channel before, that NXT is a third brand. It's a main roster brand. And it not only makes sense for them to be involved, but you know what? It's a great move. And I will talk about why this is a great move. Because ever since it rebranded in 2012, NXT has been a developmental program where rookie superstars, they really show their body of work before they get called up to the main roster. And you look at NXT. NXT is more of an indie darling wrestling promotion. And these indie style wrestlers, they're learning the WWE style. But within 7 years of its existence, NXT has been a phenomenon to the point that it's on the USA Network. And beforehand, it was on the WWE Network, where only subscribers just catching the action of NXT. Now, bringing NXT to the Survivor Series is going to introduce the traditional WWE wrestling fans to the product. And I will say this too, I think this is another move that they want to do in their war against AEW. But when you look at the move to USA, WWE, they've been taking active steps to make NXT into a household name now that it's on, available televisions across the globe. And we've seen Finn Balor. Yes, Finn Balor, who was on the main roster, make the jump to NXT. And we all know what's happened to him. He's a heel. We saw this past week the Kabaki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, defending the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. But you look at the ratings. Look at what happened when the ratings came out the other day. 580,000 viewers. They ranked 32nd in the demographics when it comes to 18 to 49. And yes, I understand the fact that it was a tough night Wednesday night because of the Game 7 of the World Series. Not to mention, AEW did beat them again for God knows what, the fourth straight week, fifth straight week, I don't know, but it's still a number that pales in comparison to their brand partners in Raw and SmackDown. And Monday Night Raw, who are they competing with right now? They're competing with Monday Night Football. And Monday Night Football is always going to beat them in the ratings no matter what. You look at Friday Night SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown had what? Almost 900,000 viewers last week on FS1, and mainly because of the World Series. How are they going to do this week? Are they going to rebound? Which I believe they will. They will rebound from that disaster rating that they had last week. So we'll see what happens. They have to be over 2 million views this week. If they're over that, they're fine. If they're less, they're in big trouble because next week is going to be a big day. If they keep declining in the ratings, it's going to be panic mode for WWE and Fox. But you have to get audiences to understand why NXT is must-see TV, and it has to be viewed on the same level of competition as Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. And WWE, they have to make that key audience aware that NXT actually exists. So, a few appearances on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, thinking maybe an invasion angle, then you have a stunning showcase at the pay per view, and that's going to do the trick. And plus, if the rumors are true about bringing in War Games to Survivor Series, I'm for it. We're going to have a women's War Games match at the TakeOver in Chicago. Let the men of Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and NXT be a part of War Games. Just like what we saw in the first War Games in the WWE era, when you had the Undisputed Era, when you had AOP. I don't remember who was in AOP's team. I think it was I don't know if it was Johnny Gargano. And then you had Sanity, when Sanity was a stable at that time. So yeah, do something with that concept for War Games. So let me all know what you think about this in the comment section here. Of course, comment below. Subscribe to the channel. I will try to put up more Wrestling Observer radios in the near future, but we'll see what happens. This weekend, I will put up the Wrestling Observer because we do have the UFC pay-per-view coming up, but that's going to be on my other channel, DF from RI401 2.0. So till then, I am out. Deuces and love, and I'll see you guys very soon for another opinion video in the world of professional wrestling.